Hey, I just wanted to give a quick update and understanding of some stuff that Healy just released, because there's a little bit of confusion. So first of all, hopefully most people are getting these new bands. Now the new bands look a little bit like the original bands, but they're not. You'll notice that the material is much thicker and it has much better conductivity. I have not had to use any gel or get anything wet at all. Now, one of the things these new bands allow us to do is, since everyone's on the same page, we can start changing how much you feel it again. Now, because there were some issues with some very, very sensitive people having some reactions to the frequency going through some of the other bands. But now we've got all our COVID-related supply chain issues worked and everyone's got these bands. We can make some changes, including the ability to turn up the frequency on yours. Okay, so there's two things that came out: the ability to change how strong you feel it, okay, and also the ability on one of the apps to turn off the Bluetooth once you've sent the program to it. So we're going to go over that a little bit. Number one, there's no new app to download. Okay, a couple of the apps potentially have an update, okay, and you can go to your app store and see those updates. I think mine has already been updated, and let me just show you this here on my phone. Okay, so we're going to go in on my phone here and screen share. Okay, so I have an Android, and so this is what the Android looks like. So again, a reminder that we have 3 apps that we're dealing with the Healy. Okay, the Heal Advisor and Analysis, it's a confusing name. We're just going to call that the Blue Dot app, okay? Because you also have the Heal Advisor app, okay? So some are going to get confused in the email where it talks about the Heal Advisor app, even though it gives a video. You're like, well, which app is this? This is a new app. I haven't used this one before. So the Heal Advisor app is where your subscriptions are taken care of. It's also the app that you can, initially this app is free, but if you want to be able to have a search option to search for different disease conditions, that's where this one shows up, okay? The Pink Dot app, again, is just the normal Healy app, and that's how it's referred to in the email. That's the Pink Dot app, that's for microcurrents, okay? The Blue Dot app, which is the Heal Advisor Analysis app, that's the Blue Dot app. That's where you do scans and when you run programs vibrationally. Okay, so we're not going to really talk about the Heal Advisor Analysis app because there's currently no major changes on that, even though it's been updating regularly. Okay, so if, for example, I go to my Play Store and I would type in Healy, okay, when I see this, if I look at the Pink Dot app, earlier today, mine had an update. So instead of the open button, it said update. So I would have updated and downloaded the new version of the Healy app. Okay, and we'll go over which one that is. And you can see that it says last updated April 12th. So it's a fairly new one. Okay, if we went to the Heal Advisor app, okay, you'll see this last updated April 13th. So earlier today, instead of open, it said update on mine, which I did. Okay. If we go to the Blue Dot app right here, the Heal Advisor Analysis app, okay, when we pull that up, March 17th, so that hasn't been updated recently, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the, okay, hold on one second. We're going to go into the Heal Advisor app, okay? And I'm going to go out of this one here. All right, so you have one of these for each account you have, okay? And so, for example, in my household, a couple of people have accounts, okay? So the Healy I have right now is actually connected to my wife's account, okay? So if I wanted to do some of the settings on this device, I wouldn't go into my account. I would go into my wife's account because that's the one this is attached to. So you're going to sign in to the Healy Advisor app. Okay, it's free. If you want to do the search option again, that's an additional charge, and that's a subscription. You'll notice that I have previously subscribed to all sorts of different things, but none of my subscriptions are currently active. Okay, but if I go into the settings button, you see this Healy configuration. So Healy is the app that they call the pink app, okay, with the microcurrents. So if I click on there, you see it's going to talk about the three different devices that are connected to my actual Healy account underneath my email and my password, okay? And what you'll notice is I switched one of these back, but it will give an indication of the serial number and whether it's currently on low current or high current, okay? So I already switched two of them to high current, but I'm going to switch this one here just so you can see what happens. So I'm going to go switch. Yes, I understand that I don't want to get shocked or anything. I'm a super sensitive person, all that type of stuff. So click, and yes, I want to change that. Now that's going to take a while for it to update. In other words, my Pink Dot app is going to have to update and go, oh, we've got new options, okay? So I haven't yet seen this actually active on mine because I have to log into my wife's account. Maybe we can do that right now and show you how to do that. So if I go in here and I click log out, yes, I want to log out, and I click on my wife's account, is my name at gmail.com. Okay, and we go to the next one, and briefly I'm going to change this so you can't see what I'm doing. And I'll go into hers. All right, so I've logged into that account, and yes, I want to participate in crashing and reminders and all that. Great, sure. All right. So this is the Healy Advisor that's now logged into my wife's account, and the device I'm wearing right now is connected to my wife's account. Okay. So when I go into Healy configuration right there, I'm going to see that there's two devices connected to that account. I don't even know what that second device is, but this one I know ends in CF. Okay, so this is if I switch this one, then that should take effect. So I'm going to switch that one. Yes, I agree with all that. And I'm also going to switch the second one. Actually, I know she has a second device on that account as well. So both of those are switched to high frequency. Okay. So now the email also mentioned, so I'm actually going to close out that one. I'm going to now go into my Pink Dot app. Now the email mentioned the ability to turn off the Bluetooth right from the application screen. Now it mentioned a particular program version. Okay, so I'm going to connect to this one here. All right, so when I go into settings for this one, instructions for use manual. Okay, well, let's up with this one. Hold on a second. All right, you see this says an update is available and it will be transmitted after configuration. So yes, I want to update it. So this is automatically updating. We're going to go over quickly how to make sure that it is manually updated as well. I'm going to pause it real quickly here. Okay, we're back. So I'm going to go in and I want to, you'll notice the email references certain versions of the app and certain firmware. So how would you find something like that out? See, if you go to the bottom here under information, you see it says program configuration app version 2.09. This is the latest app version. My hardware, it's hardware version 226. Now, one thing it said in the email, I believe, is that you have to have hardware version 229. So when it talks about the ability to run a program and to then turn off the Bluetooth. It should be on this page, but you're not going to see it, okay? And I'm going to show you what it does look like if you have the correct firmware version. It would look like that. See that on the top? That is where I would, if I had the right firmware version, that's where I would turn off. Now I do have a brand new Healy. I think I made check, and on my brand new Healy, I could probably do it on that, have the ability to do that. I don't on this one, okay? So we're gonna go in here. I'm gonna pause it really quickly. All right, so right now I don't feel yet current on mine because I just switched it, and it says it's going to take a while for it to go to the server and then for the server back to my device. So I'll check in later, but I hope this clears up some things. Again, a couple things. One, we're not downloading any new apps. There are 2 apps to update. The Heal Advisor app, and the Heal Advisor app is the app that runs all the subscriptions. That's the app. It's not the Blue Dot app. It's the Heal Advisor app. Okay, and that's the app you go into, log into the account that's connected to your device. You go under settings, and you'll see a new Healy, the Pink Dot app, Healy app configuration, and you can turn it on to the high current option, right? That will take a while to populate. The Pink Dot app, also known as the Healy app, also needs an update. That update will do 2 things. One, if you have the correct firmware version, so in other words, not just the program itself, but the hardware, then you'll be able to switch the Bluetooth off very easily from the actual screen itself, okay? One other thing to suggestion that I'm going to show you is people have been having a lot of problems with their devices being like, when you're using a Blue Dot app, the device is running super slow, okay? One of the really important things to understand is, and here's the thing, initially when we started doing healing, started doing presentations, the people doing the presentations were giving incorrect information, okay? They were saying that every time that I load an application to run on my Healy, that my phone grabs it every single time, grabs it from the server, puts it on the phone, and from the phone onto the device. That's not actually true. When you update the app, all that's loaded onto your phone. So really, I don't need a constant connection to the internet, either through a data plan or through a Wi-Fi, to use the programs once it's initially set up and I've connected everything on the Pink Dot app. That's also true on the Blue Dot app with some exceptions. You have to understand that one thing the Blue Dot app or the Heal Advisor Analysis app does is it takes all the information, all the scans, and it saves it onto the server, okay? And it's always doing that, right? So depending on how well their server is working, how well your internet connection is working, all that, that can cause some delays and problems. But you don't have to save everything on the server perpetually to use your device, okay? So if you go into your device, all right, and we'll show you here, if I'm using the Blue Dot app, and we'll make sure this is connected here, and I'll have all the other ones closed. Pause it briefly. So one thing, when I just tried to connect my Healy, it said no devices found. And I'm like, what do you mean no devices found? I had just been connected to it through the Pink Dot app, even though I had closed it out. So what I actually did is I went and I did a hard, I rebooted the actual Healy device by holding this middle button down very, very firmly for at least 20 seconds. The solid green light comes on. Then I turn it back on. And then when I go try and scan for Healy's again, oh, finds it, no problem, okay? So we'll connect this here, and it is connecting. All right, so if I change the cloud settings, for me, I've found that it's gotten rid of a lot of delays and problems and weird blank screens and all sorts of weird stuff that's going on lately. So the way I would do that is I would go into cloud settings here, and you'll notice the synchronization for me is all turned off. I don't sync at all. In fact, a month ago was the last time I synced. Changes waiting for sync 194. Who cares? I don't care. I don't use it for a lot of clients between multiple devices, so it doesn't matter to me. Anyways, so I hope that helps. Again, to review really quickly, we're not downloading any new apps. We're dealing with 3 separate apps: the Healy Advisor app, which is not the Blue Dot app. This is the app where you log in and you go to settings, and you then can change the Healy, aka Pink Dot app settings to increase the voltage so we can feel it again, which a lot of people are very excited about. So you need to do an update on the Healy Advisor app through your app store. Okay. Number 2, if you want your Pink Dot app, aka the Healy app, to be able to turn your Bluetooth off, you'll have to have firmware version 229. Currently, I've got 226, so that wasn't working. I may try it on a Healy I just got in the mail and see if I can do it then. But you'll have to update that app. Also, you can update it from inside the Healy under settings, or you can go to your app store and do the update from there. For the Blue Dot app, a lot of the problems people are seeing in terms of a lot of delays and weird blank screens and different things like that. If you go to the settings, you can change the cloud settings so it doesn't sync everything automatically all the time, which isn't really necessary. Again, neither the Pink Dot app nor the Blue Dot app need consistent connection to the internet. If you're updating the app, of course. If you're downloading new programs, of course. If you're initially setting up your device, yes, you would need to be connected to the internet. After that, you don't, unless you want, you're dealing with a lot of clients and you want to go back and reference their stuff very frequently, and then it'll be beneficial to keep it on the cloud in case you lose your device or something like that. So hope that's helpful. And let me know if you have any questions.